are now listening to the Sports Nuts.
You know, every time I watch that introduction, y'all, I get even more and more excited about it. It brings chills to my bone. Shout out to Matt for making that new introduction for season 5. It is Miami Vice and Grand Theft Auto themed, and I hope you guys like it. Welcome to another amazing episode of the Sports Nuts. Yes, guys, you do see a couple of different faces on here, 2 of which you've seen regularly, but Matt will join us later. He is finishing up at work. Shane, unfortunately, had some issues happen at home that he will not be attending with us tonight, but it's okay. He sends his regards to each and every one of you. But guys, we have a fantastic episode. We have literally one of my biggest idols here coming on our show, Mr. Rob DeMello of KHON2. He is the sports director, covers literally all things and everything's Hawaii related, and I promise you, the dude is a legend. And after he leaves, we still have a good show to join us, and we cannot wait to get things going. So, as you do see, my man right here, Mr. Pensman, Brian Pettit, this gentleman right below me, Mr. Ralph Williams. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me tonight.
No, man, thank you so much for coming on. I absolutely appreciate it. Guys,
I just want to let everyone know my Ralph's Opinion show will air at 9:00 tonight because
Excellent.
my channel is simulcasting your show here. So I just want to let everyone know, not to worry. I'll answer all your questions about the shutdown and everything. I got 800 emails about the shutdown all week long. I was out and about. Everybody, sure. Hey, Ralph, what are you going to do about say about the shutdown? And, yeah. So you'll hear it at 9:00. So
we're ready for it. Are y'all ready to have the legendary Rob DeMello? I'm excited.
Yes, I am.
Oh. Yeah, I am.
Aloha, man. How are you doing?
What's up? Aloha, guys.
How you doing, Rob? Aloha.
Doing very good. Hope you guys are doing well.
Yes. Now, Rob, I got to tell you this. This is a real... this is a true statement. Like I told you, I've idolized you for a very long time. You provide excellent quality content, in-depth look at not only UH sports, but all of Hawaii sports. Now, I will tell you this season for UH football, man, it has been absolutely amazing to see. It's finally nice to get back on the winning schneid of things. Micah is doing amazing work. Pafele, oh, man, I have a feeling that we're going to have to seriously see some major NIL money going his way to keep him here. But could we maybe see UH make the Mountain West Conference Championship again and maybe take it to Boise their last year in the Mountain West?
Well, it remains to be seen. Obviously, there's still 4 games left here in this regular season. First thing I want to say, though, is much mahalo for the kind words, man. You've always been so supportive and really appreciate it. And but going back to the University of Hawaii football team, this has been a long time coming, man. They've been waiting a long time. The fan base for this, that victory against Colorado State, winning 31-19 on the road, it made them automatic bowl game qualifiers for the first time since 2019. Now, they played in a bowl game in 2020, but they weren't automatic qualifiers. When that season ended, I remember it was a Spectrum Sports game, and at the time, I was still working the pregame, halftime, and postgame of that broadcast. And I remember us signing off like, all right, we'll see you next year. Hawaii's not going to a bowl game. And then a couple of days later, teams backed out of opportunities to play in the bowl game. And it gave Hawaii a chance to then play in that New Mexico Bowl that was in Frisco, Texas, if you remember. I mean, the crazy times of COVID. And then in 2021, Hawaii again didn't qualify for a bowl game, but because of teams dropping out, Hawaii was given a chance to play in the Hawaii Bowl against Memphis. But days before the Hawaii Bowl in 2021, Hawaii had to back out of the game because of a COVID outbreak. They didn't have enough players because of the guys that were inactive because of COVID, and also players that had entered the transfer portal. So they didn't play in that bowl game. And so you got to go back to 2019 when Hawaii beat BYU in the Hawaii Bowl. It was the last time that Hawaii qualified for a bowl game. And so it's been a long time coming for Timmy Chang. If you remember, he entered this program amid a mass exodus after the resignation of Todd Graham, and so many players had transferred out of that program. He had 53 new players in that first season. They went 3-10. He backs that up with back-to-back 5-win seasons where they lost 10 one-possession games. over that stretch. And, they're just that close. And heading into this season, I think a lot of people felt optimistic. And a big part of that is continuity. In college football, if you can keep your coaching staff together and you can retain players, that puts you so much ahead of the game, because your team understands the culture, you understand what you're trying to run, and it makes camp better. It makes everything come a little bit easier. And so I think that's what you're seeing right here. And that's the biggest part of the success that Hawaii is enjoying right now, is the continuity in the program. And so at 6-2 overall, 3-1 in the Mountain West, they're in third place as they are in a bye week this week. And who knows what the future holds. I mean, this is a team that if they run the table, they probably do play in the Mountain West championship game, but there's still 4 games left and anything can happen. I mean, they could lose 4 games in a row and then we're having a completely different conversation about what could have been, right? And so I think this team understands that it's coach speak, but they really believe it. It's just one game at a time, and whatever you're trying to accomplish, it'll be there if you're just taking care of business each and every week.
What is the latest with Aloha Stadium? I know that they just started really the demolition process, well, approval of it and everything, but what is the updates with new Aloha Stadium?
Yeah, so 2029 remains as the target. Demolition is set to begin here shortly. There's actually a concert this weekend, an Aloha to Aloha Stadium, where there's a bunch of local musicians coming down and kind of like a bidding of Aloha to the venue that's so iconic here in the state, that's held so many great events. And beyond the University of Hawaii, it was the home of the Pro Bowl for so many years. As a kid, I went to a Michael Jackson concert there, and the Eagles. And as an adult, Bruno Mars, a Hawaii kid, came in and sold out the stadium. And so, I mean, everybody that grew up here in the islands has a special memory with Aloha Stadium. Monster trucks with my dad, I remember as a kid too, so this is an emotional experience for a lot of people. But with that being said, it's been so long, right? 2020 is when it was announced that this stadium was no longer going to be active and no longer going to be in use. And we're now in 2025, and that thing is still standing and you still don't have a new one. And so there's tons of frustration that comes along with that. And so the paperwork has been signed and everything is moving forward. I think once people start seeing the demolition and start seeing the stadium come down, then it will give a lot of people a different sense, because it's right on the side of the freeway too. I mean, so if you're driving from Honolulu to West Side, you got to drive by that thing every day, and it looks exactly as it did in 1975. And so I think, yeah, some people are just like, hey, what's going on? Like, let's do this already. And so, but that's the latest, is that, 2029 is still the target date, and kind of got to just cross your fingers and hope everything goes according to plan. And one thing to keep in mind, it is a lot more difficult to build a stadium in the state of Hawaii than anywhere else, right? Because you see a lot of comparisons about, oh, this stadium was built for X amount of millions of dollars and it was done in this amount of time. Well, a lot of that, the supplies and everything that you need to build the stadium were driven from other states or driven from down the road. Here, that's not possible. So materials cost a lot more. The supplies cost a lot more. How long it takes to get here, when you're putting in the order, just everything. It's a longer process and it costs a lot more money. And so with that is going to come with delays. It's going to come with taking a long time. And that's what we're seeing right now.
It's so funny. Kamahai Kalama and his wife, Tristan, that show Renovation Aloha, they said the exact same thing. It takes forever and a day to get everything to come out there. My most memorable moment at Aloha Stadium, and then I'll go to Mike real quick, is I was at the Boise State Hawaii WAC championship game.
No kidding.
I remember it was shaking. Yeah. I remember it was, I swear, I still feel like it was yesterday. I still have the ponchos from when they played Utah State, when we had the monsoon at that season too. I think that it was the year Utah State was like 0-10 or starting out the season. I remember it, but that was one of my favorite moments, was being at that game. And I remember my friends were there. We got there at like 12 o'clock that afternoon, and we were there until long after, just having a good old time. I mean, it was one of the most signature wins in UH history. And, they did it against one of the most dominant teams that Hawaii has had to face in Boise State. I will tell you this, Rob, I'm kind of glad Boise's leaving to go to the Pac-12 2.0. I'm a little over Boise State. I just don't like them, but But I'm really excited for the future, for what UH holds for, and I can't wait for what is about to take place next. Everybody knows next season is when it really gets going fun for every sport, except a couple because they're going to stay in the Big West. But I'm still excited because Mountain West Conference play it's only going to get better. I'm pumped. Mike, go ahead, man.
Okay, hold on. What is it like being a sports director that you always see yourself in the media industry?
Sorry, if you could say it one more time.
What is it like being a sports director? Did you always see yourself in the media industry?
Yeah. So, I love the job, and a big reason why is because this is literally what I've always wanted to do. I was probably 6 years old when I first told my teacher in elementary school that I wanted to be Les Kiter, and that was the sportscaster at KHON when I was a child. And she told me, well, that's a sportscaster. And I said, oh, okay. And then I just went on. I went home. I told my parents I'm going to be a sportscaster. And then I just never, ever let that go away. And it kind of, it's organic. And it happened because I enjoyed, my parents were news watchers growing up, and they would watch KHON. And so I would get excited about the sports because I loved sports. And as I got older too, and not just because of me saying I wanted to do that, I just really grew to love writing. I loved sports. I played sports my whole life, and I would come home and I'd write stories about the game that we just played. And so it's just something I always wanted to do. And there was never a time in my life where I said I was going to do something else or I wanted to do something else. And, it's a really long story, and I'm not sure if we have time to tell it all. But I was fortunate enough to get my first internship in high school. So my sophomore going to junior year in high school was my first internship. It was at KGMB, the CBS affiliate here in Hawaii, with Neil Everett, who ended up becoming a longtime ESPN Sports Center anchor. And he was the sports director at that KGMB station when I was in high school. And he took me under his wing. And to try and condense the story is I wasn't the best student. I wasn't getting good grades. And he took me under his wing and kind of made a deal with me that if I improved my grades, that I could come back and I could shadow him every week, for as long as I wanted. And I was able to do that. And so my grades went through the roof. I graduated with a 4.0. And when I met him, I probably had a 2.4 grade point average. I just wasn't taking school seriously. And, sports was everything to me. And he helped guide me as far as just motivation and discipline, and it took off from there. 1 year out of high school is when a job opened up at KITV, which is the ABC affiliate here, and Robert Kekaula was the sports director there, a legend in the industry here in Hawaii. It passed away a few years ago, and he offered me a job based on the internships that I've been doing for all those years of just working at KGMB. And so he knew that I had a lot of experience despite only being 19 years old, and gave me my first job. I was there for 8 years when a job opened up here at KHON, and I came here and I've been here ever since. That was in 2010. So this is my 15th year at KHON too. And so I love it, man. This is all I've ever wanted to do. And this is the only place I ever wanted to do it. I didn't grow up thinking like, oh, I want to be on ESPN or I want to be on TNT or whatever, talking about the NBA or NFL. Like, it was always just this. I just want to talk about Hawaii sports and Hawaii teams and Hawaii athletes and things that really affect the Hawaii sports community. And so, as cliche as it sounds, living the dream, being able to do that here.
I love Neil Everett and his "How's it" that he used to always do with Sports Center. He's one of my favorites. Now, if you could ever get me in touch with Neil Everett, oh man, I'd die a happy man, because I loved his antics at ESPN. Real quick before I go to Brian, I'll let you know, I told Ku'ole Agbenyani that I'm talking to you, and she said, tell him she loves that you were on our show, and that nicest things in the world to say about you, Rob. I'm telling you, man, you are so well loved everywhere I've mentioned you. It makes me so excited to have the one and only Rob DeMilla. So thank you so much.
I appreciate that, man. Ku'ole is awesome. She has the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, and and that's the thing too with Hawaii is we got a bunch of awesome media members here, and whether it's Kanoa Leahy doing play-by-play,
I love Kanoa. I had him on
his
my show, actually.
with a number of color commentators like Rich Miano, or you go to the newspapers and the digital onlines with Brian McInnes and Christian Shimabuku, the writers like Brian with like Billy Hall and Stephen Tsai and Kool-Aid on the radio. It's just awesome. It's a great group, and everyone works super hard. Everyone's super dedicated to what they do, and they all put Hawaii number one. And that's not the teams or the athletes or whatever it is. It's just the state of Hawaii and understanding that we need to put out good work. We need to work hard in order for Hawaii sports fans to get what they need, and for Hawaii sports to continue to thrive, because people are going to want to continue to want more and more content. And I root everybody on in this industry and in this market, because the way I see it is that if Kool-Aid is doing something awesome, but that's only great for everybody else too, because you guys know, I mean, I see you're a fan of the Steelers over there, and it's not like you see one great Steelers article or story and you're like, I'm good. Like, that was really good. I don't need anything else anymore. If anything, it makes you want to get more content, because you just bit by the bug, right? You're like, oh man, I need more Steelers stuff. And
absolutely.
So that's how I feel about the industry over here. And everyone just, everyone has the right to be great. I love it.
Brian, go ahead.
All right, Rob, I want to say thank you for coming on tonight's show with Brandon and all of us. Aloha from all the way from South Carolina.
Awesome, man.
So I want to give you this question to you. What is the memories that you have covering the UH sports? What is the most memorable sporting event that you've ever covered there in Hawaii?
Oh, it's a really good question, man. And so I'm going to tell you a couple of things popped up into my head, and one of them, it's not a personal memory, because, and this is the crazy part, is right through that whole Colt Brennan era, the greatest time in UH sports history, probably, right, making it to the Sugar Bowl, going undefeated, Colt being a Heisman finalist, and just all the victories over the years. I never attended a single Colt Brennan game, because at the time I was working at KITV. I was the weekend sports anchor. Robert Kikaula was the sports director. He was the color commentator on radio for UH sports. And so I was always back at the station at KITV. And, the games are I think at that time, the games would kick off at 5 p.m. If I remember. They're at 6 now, but I think there were 5 p.m. starts back then. And we had a 5 o'clock news. So I would be on the desk when the game started, and it wouldn't make any sense to race down there, because then I wouldn't be able to do all the other things that are going on, right? It's not the only thing in town that's going on, high school football season, women's volleyball, whatever else. So I would always just be at the station. And so I never saw, like, Brandon went to that Boise State game. I didn't, right? I was back at the station cutting the highlights. And so, so I can't really say that was the best memory, because I never went to any of the games. I loved covering it, and it was awesome. I was at every practice, obviously. But if I had to put out there just the number one personal memory, it would be attending the Heisman Trophy ceremony for Marcus Mariota. To see a island kid, and obviously he didn't go to the University of Hawaii, but to see someone born and raised in the state of Hawaii, to be able to make it to that level, to where we can argue right here about, is that the most prestigious individual award that there is, just with all the prestige it comes with, right?
Oh yeah.
And for a Hawaii kid to win that, and to be there and to see with my own eyes of him holding up that trophy and being able to talk to him, and that was pretty killer, man. That was insane, and that jumped out to me immediately. But there's been so many great moments. I mean, national championships for Hawaii men's volleyball I've been able to cover, and some great games, Max Holloway fights, and there's been some really, really cool stuff. But that Marcus Mariota moment, just seeing him holding that Heisman Trophy, that it gave me chicken skin.
I love that. Wow. And by the way, our good friend, our mutual friend, Brian Kajiyama, just said, "Welcome to the show." He literally just texted me and said, "Welcome to the show." So
great.
Ralph, go ahead, man.
Yeah. Rob, I wanted to ask you a question. I follow the University of Pittsburgh, and Todd Graham was a coach here for one season, and he up and just left. He didn't even resign. He just up and got on an airplane, went to Arizona State. What was the thought? What was the thinking down there with everybody, the student body and everything about Todd Graham? In fact, up in Pittsburgh, they called him Fraud Graham. So I just want to let you know that as well, Rob. What was going on then when he was the coach there at Hawaii?
It was a really interesting time. And, when he was hired, he definitely wasn't the guy that was on the top of everybody's list, right? No one saw that coming. If you remember at that time, Craig Stutzman was the offensive coordinator under Nick Rolovich. And so Nick Rolovich leaves for Washington State, coming off of a great season. Hawaii played in the Mountain West Championship game, won the bowl game, beat BYU. And then he leaves for Washington State. Now, he brought most of the staff with him to Pullman. Now, Craig Stutzman was kind of in the middle where he was going to go with Rolo if he didn't get the Hawaii job, but he very much wanted the Hawaii job. And I think a lot of people assumed that that's what was going to happen because kind of learning from your mistakes in the past. And it wasn't the same athletics director at the time, but in 2011, Hawaii won the WAC title in 10. They missed a bowl game by 1 game in 11, and they decided to go a different route and dismiss Greg McMackin. And a lot of people thought that, like, okay, if you didn't want McMackin, well, then you have all these guys on staff. Dave Aranda was the defensive coordinator. Nick Rolovich was the offensive coordinator. You had Rich Miano on staff, Cal Lee, Ron Lee. I want to say Mouse Davis or Dick Tomey was on the staff. And you could have picked anybody to go be the head coach and just keep this thing together. But they decided to go with Norm Chow, who was a great coach in his own right. But it required a burning of the house down and restarting, right? It was no longer the run and shoot. You recruited a bunch of people to play in that type of offense. And then you went to power football with Norm Chow, and it just didn't work out. And so a lot of people kind of felt that, like, okay, Rolo left, but keep this thing going. This thing is going up. And so when Todd Graham was hired, obviously there was a lot of frustration with, oh, here we go again. We're going to have to start all over. Now, the biggest thing with the Todd Graham era is that if you remember, he was hired, and before spring ball, COVID hits. So his meetings with players for months and months and months were done over Zoom, right? He had zero relationship with these guys. Even the practices, there's so many guardrails and everything. The season was brought back on, then it was canceled again, and then you had this condensed season in front of nobody in Aloha Stadium. It was an empty stadium, and so I think that he didn't understand the culture. He didn't really be able to link himself to what makes Hawaii special and what makes Hawaii football special. And a lot of that had to do with COVID because he wasn't able to meet people in the community either. Right. And so you had a guy,
was more of an obstacle then, Rob, right?
Yes. Yeah, so you had a guy come in that is, hey, this is my way. This is the way I've always done it. And it just did not fly. And so I think that the players didn't really buy into it. The fans didn't buy into it. And I think one thing led to another. And as time went on, this thing was not working out. And that ultimately, I mean, we could talk for hours about the Todd Graham era, but to me, that's pretty much what it was that it was just not a good fit. And it was an extremely, extremely difficult time. And if there was a time for there not to be a good fit, that was not the time.
That was not the time. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, you know what? He wasn't a fit at Pitt either. I mean, he lied. He told everybody we're going to run this go offense or something, go up the left lane. And, we're going to run this power offense. And he had a flat-footed quarterback in Tito Sinceri. And they ended up going 6-6. He left before the bowl game. And we were 6-5. We lost the bowl game, and we ended up being 6-6. He left, and, he went to Arizona State. He didn't even tell the athletic director. The athletic director went up and knocked on his door, and his wife told the athletic director that he had resigned. And he was already on a plane to Arizona State before that even happened. So,
that's rough.
Yeah.
Rob, yeah. I know we're coming to the time real quick. I do want to let you know also, we've had we've had Brian on our show. We've been Stutz. He was the best question I ever asked him was what can we do to stop Ashton Denting, he said put 13 players on the field. So he was really funny on that one. But, I got to ask you this. Coach Cano, obviously the season didn't go the way we had hoped last year with UH basketball. This year looks like it's going to be a tremendous turnaround with this team. I mean, I obviously understand it was an exhibition game, but you mollywopped the team that they played. I know they play HPU coming up. I believe, is it tomorrow they play? But I know that they play HPU. It's going to be a tremendous basketball season. I'm eager to see what's going to transpire with this program. But, what has the vibe been around Manoa for the basketball program? Is this going to be the year we finally see the basketball program take that next step, or are we going to have to wait till next year when Mountain West Conference play gets into existence?
Well, to answer that first part, the vibe, I would say that the best way to describe it is people are intrigued. All right. So they're not, this is what's going to happen. I think people are just intrigued to let's see what happens here this season, because there's 9 new players from last season's team, 6 Division I transfers. Dre Bullock is someone that a lot of people are excited about, coming from South Dakota, a high flyer. Ketis Namiksha returns. You got a few returnees, Aaron Hunkenclater, Harry Ruliadeff, to name a few. But there's a lot of new players. And so you're completely changing the personality of this team, the style of play for this team. And I think that not only people in Hawaii have caught notice, but they were picked number 3 in the Big West Conference preseason poll. And this is a Hawaii basketball team that missed the conference tournament for the first time in 15 years last year. And so that was the worst year in the Iran Ganat era. And so, to take, ESPN hot take term or whatever, like he was on the hot seat right at the end of the season. And he was given a vote of confidence of, okay, like, get yourself out of this mess, essentially. This is the last year of his contract. And so if he's able to do well, then you can imagine he'll continue to be the coach here. He's been the coach here already for a long time. But if he is not able to get it done, Hawaii entering a new conference, then you imagine that that's probably what's going to happen. Is there going to be a change in leadership? But I think he's confident. I think this team's confident. And as you saw, across the water, the other coaches in the Big West Conference see this Hawaii team and they think like, hey, they could do something special. And so I do think that there are people intrigued about what could happen here with Rainbow Warrior basketball.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing by the way, I don't know if you agree with me on this one, but it's hard to believe we're almost done with football. Like, did it just start and we're already saying goodbye? I don't even want to think about that far. I hate saying goodbye to football. The world seems better when football is back, especially when I'm always going to call them the Warriors. I cringe calling them the Rainbows, but I will call them.
Oh, you're talking to the wrong guy then for that, bro. Dude,
I remember when June came and basically turned the entire environment around there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I often call them Warriors as well, and but they're the Rainbow Warriors, man. They'll always be the Rainbow Warriors, and it goes deeper, right? It's what does the rainbow mean to the Hawaiian culture, right? What does it mean to other people? What does it mean to the Hawaiian culture? The driver's license here have a rainbow on it. The license plate, the city bus has a rainbow on it, and why? It's because in Hawaiian mythology, the rainbow is the prior kings and the gods of Hawaii that are looking down on the people here on Earth. And so there is just a very special meaning here in the state of Hawaii. And my thing has always been like, who cares what other people think a rainbow represents, or who cares what other people might think when they see the rainbow? Like, this is the University of Hawaii. This is Hawaii. What do you think of the rainbow? What does it mean to your people? And because you could say that thing about anything, right? I mean, a Virginia Tech Hokie, right? An Oregon Duck. Like, are those intimidating figures? No, but people embrace it. They love it. It means something to them, and it means something to their community, and so therefore it means something special. And so, to me, they're always the bows, man. They're the rainbows. They're the Rainbow Warriors. They're the Warriors.
Our good friend Linda and Vili Fihoko, they send their love to you, by the way. Braden, I know he just got unfortunately released a couple weeks ago a little while back from Pittsburgh. Hopefully he starts a new team soon. But Rob, I'm extremely humbled to have you here, man. And I wanted to let you know I'm excited. It looks like me and my wife are actually coming out there next year. So if we do, I would love to take you to lunch. Sound good?
Right on, man. Yeah, sounds good. Hopefully we get that done. During the football season is a lot harder than any other time of the year.
Yep.
And if you don't mind, I want to let people know that this week, our episode of Hawaii Football Final, which is our University of Hawaii football show that's done every Sunday, we're going to have Timmy Chang on the show this week for the coming off the bye week. And so that's on Sunday at 7 p.m. Hawaii time. On KHON Plus, which is the smart TV app you can get on Roku, Apple TV, Fire Stick. So anyone that's watching, I mean, you can download that app and you can watch it at that time. When the show is done, then it immediately goes up on YouTube, KHON2.com, and the KHON Plus app. And then there's an extended version of the show that's audio-only podcast, which is available on most podcast platforms, including Spotify. And so that's this Sunday. Check it out, Hawaii Football Final with head coach Timmy Chang.
That'd be fun.
Wait. Oh, I have been trying to get Matt Elliott and Coach Chang to come on the show, but Derek doesn't, you know who Derek is. He don't ever really respond to messages. So Rob, mahalo to you, man. I will talk to you soon. Go have a good rest of your afternoon. And by the way, people don't realize it's 2:00 in the afternoon where he's at. Yeah, it's 8:00 here, but it's 2:00 there. Rob, mahalo, brother. I really appreciate you, man.
Rob, thanks for coming in.
Talking to
right
you.
on. It's really nice meeting all you guys, and keep doing the show and have a lot of fun, man. You guys take care.
Right on, man. Take care. I'll talk to you soon.
Aloha.
Guys, how awesome was that? Come on.
That was great. That was
cool.
I've never been involved in any kind of anything with anyone from Hawaii. I mean, like that,
Well,
that's connected with the
now
Rainbow.
you here with it, and I'm
Or the Rainbow Warriors or whatever you call them. So.
Rainbow Warriors. And
Second time, Ralph. That was awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, that was.
It means. I mean, I feel like a kid at a candy store. I've idolized him. And I said, I want to have a sports talk show the way he is. Because if you guys ever get the chance to go check out his stuff on YouTube, literally everywhere, he is so mellow with how he talks. And it's just awesome. And him and Rich Miano, they feed back and forth with each other so well. And people have their mixed reviews about Miano. I think he's a great guy. I enjoy talking to him. So everybody get a chance to go check out Rob DeMello's his work, KHON2 on YouTube, everything. Again, we want to shout out to everybody who is listening to us right now live on 95.5 KFCE in Terrell, Texas, and TigerNation.live, which is airing in Texas, Missouri, and Oklahoma, as well as everywhere else, and including the other 29 countries we are in. Shout out to all you. Thank you for everybody who's tuned in to us. We greatly appreciate it. But guys, look, I asked Matt this question yesterday, and I'm going to ask everybody again. I'm going to go with Ralph on this one. Ralph, what is the most memorable theme song that you remember that started back officially yesterday for the first time?
Oh gosh, I couldn't even tell you. The Monday Night Football thing. Yeah, there you go.
NBA on NBC.
NBC, that's right. NBA, yeah.
Guys,
yeah, that was something. It was something yesterday. I mean,
yes,
I turned it on and I'm like, where's the Monday programming usually? Because usually I catch Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy before I watch Raw, and then all of a sudden I see NBA, and I said, "Oh, that's right, NBC got NBA now." So
it was so good to see it, and this is where I wish Pensman you had the opportunity to heckle Matt, because Ralph, you weren't with us last night when this said this, but Matt called Bronny James the chosen one. And then he was like the chosen one. If you look at the introduction, you do see Matt has Bronny James's one and only dunk he ever really accomplished. But what does this say to you guys to know that basketball is back? Literally, we have football, basketball, hockey, baseball, and we have soccer. We literally have every sport here, right now.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you? First off, with you, Pensman, what does it mean to you knowing you literally have every sport at your, every waking moment now?
Feels wonderful. Like I could just come home from work and be like, boop.
Yeah.
I just wish our teams were doing better. It's so frustrating.
Yes. Yes. But it feels good to say, you're right though. Look, you literally get the room and go, boop, turn the TV on, and you have your wide variety of sports to choose from. Ralph, what does it mean to you knowing you have a wide selection of sports now going on at the exact same time?
Well, it's a great thing, like Bensman said, because now there's so much sports going on, and also there's a lot of money to be made in sports now too. If you've noticed, college football, a lot of money's made there. The NFL and NBA. I mean, the NBA's had to market themselves in different ways most of the time since Jordan and some of these guys left. The only one that is left is LeBron James. He's the only guy of all the ones over the years that have been around. But but the NBA, and then you have golf, you have car racing, you've got tennis. You just have a lot of different sports going on all at one time. And, it's a big smorgasbord. It's like a buffet. I mean, you just have.
I'm so glad you said. Thank you for saying.
It's like a buffet. I mean, really, you have a lot
this
to choose
one.
from.
I'll take that one and take that one. Yes, it's
all you can watch until you get built.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Yeah, all you can instead of all you can eat, all you can watch. What about you, Brian? How good does it feel to know you can literally grab a remote, turn it on, and you have
everything to the knowledge? Yeah,
it's
like
so nice.
It's nice to do that because you can watch anything you want to. I mean, you don't have to watch some of these other shows. You just watch sports all the time. And even like Ralph said, you got NASCAR on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday until November. A couple of weeks left, and then they're starting back up in February. You got football, which is going to go on until February. You got all kinds of stuff going on throughout the whole entire thing. And then not mention football is going to start up back in with the I can't think of the league, but they're going to start up in March.
UFL,
yeah, UFL.
Yeah.
So you can have football the whole entire time. The whole entire season. So it's just amazing that everything's back in shape.
And here's the thing, too, guys. The UFL this year has new cities. They've got teams in San Antonio. They're in Orlando. They're in Louisville. They're Columbus has a team, and I'm missing one, but I was told Canton.
They were going to have in Boise, but they pulled Boise.
Yeah, I was told Canton was supposed to get one.
Yeah,
because of the way they hosted the games, they were supposed to get a team, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. But they even pulled out of Birmingham. I'm surprised. I thought those folks down there would embrace that, and fill up the stadium and all that stuff. So.
Exactly. It's so weird to see a perennial state. Football is in Alabama are like. That's like saying, peanut butter and jelly. They go perfectly together. That's, I'm from Mobile, Alabama, and football is life in the state of Alabama and Texas. And you would think that they would absolutely embrace it more. It's really bizarre how they haven't overwhelmingly accepted that. I mean, you still, you have your moments where you see greatness at a UAB, Blazers. They have their games where they have a lot of people turn out, and then they have games where you get 600 people. That's it. It's really baffling, and I'm not knocking anything about the state of Alabama. Birmingham is a beautiful town. It's one of the places I absolutely enjoy going to, and it's just so weird to see that. It's just heartbreaking. So, guys, the Atlanta Falcons yet again in the news, like we said, and I know Pinsman's going to eat me alive on this one. Another blunder comes from a wannabe head coach in Raheem Morris. My question to everybody is, and whoever wants to answer this question first, go right ahead. How much more are we going to put up with his boneheaded knucklehead decisions that cost Atlanta any opportunity for improving?
Well,
how long are we putting up with this?
I'll tell you where he makes up for that, Brandon, and that is these close games. Okay, that's where he makes up for it, because if his teams were getting blown out, he'd be out the door immediately. Okay, and now he's making boneheaded decisions. Let me give you an example. Mediocre Mike Tomlin. This guy, 18 years of coaching, and he still can't get clock management right. He still can't get his defense in order. Okay, he doesn't want to change anything. Okay, which is what Arthur Smith did down there in Atlanta. Okay, all right. So Raheem Morris is one of those kind of guys that is on his second time as a head coach, and everyone thought, well, this time might be the better time because usually a second time around it's good. Not for Dennis Allen, of course, but I mean, for other guys, most guys, the second time around is the best time, and he's not fulfilling it. And then to go with Penix and you sign Kirk Cousins to all that money, and he's on the bench. So I mean, that was a boneheaded decision there. And Raheem Morris is a good defensive coordinator. And I've said this many times, guys, and Pensman and Brian have heard me say it. Some people can bake a cake and some people can't. And some big guys can be coordinators. Raheem Morris was a good coordinator in L.A. with the Rams, over the years, but not a good head coach. Was terrible in Tampa. So, I mean, just like Dirk Cutter, he's a good he's a good offensive coordinator. In
Was a great offensive coordinator, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But stunk as a head coach at Tampa Bay. So, I mean, that's just the way it is, and that's the way of the world with coaching. I mean,
Yep.
And
we all give our heartfelt respects and prayers. Still got the Dirk Cutter's family. He unfortunately did meet his maker a few years back and passed away. But you're right, though. People, you can be great at one thing, you absolutely stink it up in another thing, and it's so prevalent. I mean, example. Do you remember Brady Quinn by chance?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Everybody remembers.
Phenomenal quarterback in college. Stunk it up. It's the moment he stepped foot on an NFL field. Tim Couch, dude, was a legend. Tim Couch was a legend.
How many Heisman Trophy winners, Brandon, have we seen stink up the joint? How many? A lot.
A lot.
Too many to count.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way too many to count. And Tim Couch, dude, was phenomenal in Nebraska. He stinks it up the moment he steps on the Browns. I mean, it is the Browns for all.
Yeah.
The Browns.
I mean, the Browns are just the most cursed franchise that ever was. But you're right. It's so weird to see. I've run out of fingers. All of us here have all run out of fingers and toes as to how many quarterbacks the lovely Browns go through.
I think what was the count on it? Was it 40?
45?
Yeah, 45. I was close. Yes. Yeah, 45 quarterbacks. That's sad.
Did you hear me?
What?
Good.
Menzel, Couch, Pickett.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Just go through them all.
I've run out of so many. Oh man, I've run out of so many games. Hey, Blaze, it's good to see you, brother. Welcome, man. I haven't seen my good friend Blaze in a while, y'all. If you guys get a chance, check out his show, Blaze Smith. He does have a show. It's called Yenny Sports Talk. He unfortunately does have several disabilities, but this dude is phenomenal. He is a great friend. He puts out great content. Go and check him out. Blaze Smith is fantastic. I absolutely enjoy talking with Blaze. He's a great friend and a great everything. Guys, I hate to talk about this one, but I'm going to with you, Pensman. Heartbreaking it happened indeed in Seattle. By the way, I told this shit last night, but how crazy is this, y'all? The Mariners are the only team in Major League Baseball to never make the World Series. Congratulations goes out to Toronto. The first time since the early 90s, 93, I believe.
93.
Yeah, it was the last time, and I remember that was when they played the Atlanta Braves, and the Braves blew the series very well.
They played the Phillies.
They played the Braves a couple. I think it was the series before that, or it was something like that where the Braves they lost to the Braves.
Yeah.
But what is it going to take, Pensman? Real quick, what is it going to take to see Seattle finally get over that schneid, over the hump, go to the World Series, and heck, even win it? Mark, it's good to see you, brother.
I don't know, because they have the manager. The manager obviously put it. When I was a kid, this is going back to your time, Brandon, so you should figure this out.
My time. You're the same age as me.
I'm just saying.
Okay, if you want to go back, Pinson, it'd be me because I'm the oldest one. Well,
I know.
Well,
oh, no. This gentleman right here might be a little bit older than all.
Yeah, I'm 57. So there you go.
He's older than you, Brian.
Yeah, I know.
I'm Heinz 57. So
like I was saying, but we had Randy Johnson, Ichiro, Ken Griffey, and they still couldn't get it going. Now they have Josh Naylor and Cal. They can't get it done either. So I don't know what it's gonna take. They need something. They gotta get over the hump. They gotta get to World Series appearance. They don't have to win it, but at least show up. But
Ralph, is Seattle cursed?
I don't know.
Yeah, I would say they probably are, and the last time I followed Seattle, Lloyd McClendon was the manager. So that's how far back it goes.
I remember Lou Piniella. That was my favorite time.
Yeah, Lou Piniella too. But the interesting part about Seattle, they've stayed out of the limelight for a while, and it was interesting to see them this year finally make it. And like Pensman said, you got to get over the hump for once for a small market team, because Houston made it, Tampa Bay made it, and the Braves, they've made it to at least to the playoffs or to somewhere around there. Baltimore Orioles have been in it a few times. It's been since 800 years since the Pirates ever were in, and it's what. But I mean, Milwaukee. Look how far Milwaukee went. I mean, no one thought Milwaukee was going to go that far because they had a new manager. But here's a guy like Dan Muse of the Pittsburgh Penguins, who's been in a bench coach his whole career, and ended up taking the Milwaukee Brewers to the championship and almost to the World Series here. And Dan Muse with the Penguins is the same way. He's been an assistant his whole career. Now he's a head coach. So, let's see what he does with the Penguins. It's almost the same comparison based on,
It's weird, isn't it?
It is. It is weird. Yeah.
I mean, what do you think, Brian? Like, what do you think is it? I mean, do they need to do what New Orleans does and do a voodoo ritual before every home game to give them that opportunity to finally get over that schneid? Like, what? How about this, Brian? I'm gonna make you are the commissioner of Major League Baseball. You have a magic wand. And you grant them a wish beyond wishes to get them to the World Series and win it. But what is it going to absolutely take to see Seattle get there?
My thing is, if I was the commissioner, and if I was in charge of it and shook a wand of them, it would have to be managers, because look who they have now. And also it would go to pitching, because every team has got to have pitching. If you gotta win through pitching in the NLB, and also, but still you got to have the batters to bat around and everything. So it's going to take a lot for them to do that. But mainly the pitching. That's what I would do. Put a wand on them and make them better pitchers. That's what I think they're making.
It's so strange to think, like, in all of our lifetimes here, we have never seen Seattle play in a World Series.
And think about all the players that's been there from
they've had so many great
players, though.
Yeah. Look, Pensman just said it. Randy Johnson, Ken Griffey Jr. Heck, you had Alex Rodriguez, one of the best shortstops of that time on the team. And 2001, you guys won 116 games and you couldn't make it out of the first round. Like, what? It's just so weird to think that. And, shout out goes to everybody. We have a good friend of ours who his name is Adam with Flag on the Take podcast, really good buddy of ours. He went to the World Series game to see Seattle play, and he said it was not the World Series, but he went to the ALCS and saw them play in the ALCS. He said it was an amazing experience, unlike any other. And he still can't put his finger on what is it going to take to see them actually get over that hurdle. And it's just, it's so strange. All right. So, normally at this time we have Shane and Matt give us our sports stories. Matt is he will come a little bit later, but Shane unfortunately won't be here. So we don't have that opportunity. If you guys have any sports stories, Ralph, Brian, or Pensman, that you'd like to share, let me know. We would like to hear it.
Here, I have one. I drove a cab for 15 years in Pittsburgh. I had the distinct pleasure of taking Olympic gold medalist hockey coach Herb Brooks to the airport.
Whoa.
Okay. And I also had I was Mike Webster's personal cab driver. But it was on a bad note. At the time, he was retired and he had a lot of concussions from playing football. And I was taking him to Wellsburg, West Virginia to go get his medication because they wouldn't give it to him up in PA. So I had to run him to West Virginia to get his medication. And every time he called me, he paid me real well and everything else. Class guy. One of the worst I ever had and the cheapest, Gary Sheffield. I had him in my cab. Picked him up at the Ruth Chris Steakhouse in downtown Pittsburgh. Took him to the William Penn Hotel. $4.60 on the meter. Gave me $5.
His son does that.
Does he?
Yeah, his son plays at Florida State. And he does this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He still does the exact same thing his dad does.
I had
He's the only player I know that
Chad
does
Johnson, Ocho Cinco, and Bushman Zod in my cab. I took them out to an AT&T store out of one of our malls to go get their phones fixed, and then I took them back. They were nice guys, class guys.
What was
Ryan,
it like to have
I
TJ
had the privilege of meeting Ryan Clark. You know, so yeah, I didn't have him in my cab. I met him at another job I was at. So, you know, but I could sit here all day and tell you all the sports stories about guys I've met either in the cab. I had Marc-Andre Fleury in my cab too. I was the Penguins' personal cab driver. I used to take him from
I would have died a happy man to have him. Oh,
yeah.
I really would. I mean, I still love it when you know, there's a video on YouTube when Fleury was playing against the Predators, and they went, he shoots, he scores, you suck, Fleury, it's all your fault. I love it. I love, people don't realize hockey is one of those sports that it is a cult sport, and if you are into it, man, you are into it for life, and it's so addictive. I know Pins will tell you guys, I get mad when I see my Lightning, like, what are you guys doing? Like, come on. I mean, literally, you text
me late at night. You see the Lightning?
I'm like, you see the Lightning? I'm like, what is going on? Like, look, you have Andrei Vasilevsky, who is one of the greatest goalies to ever walk the face of the earth right now, and he's laying goose eggs. I don't want to I will get mad, really heated on that one. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to my daughter Holden.
Yes.
Look, everybody knows what happened to her, but for those who don't know,
how's she doing, by the way?
She's okay. She was running at recess today at school, and she fell and hit her right eye on the yes, I saw your message, Blaze. He hit her head on the tricycle. She got 4 stitches. My baby girl, yeah, she cried. And of course, you know, any dad that hears their daughter has that, it scares you, absolutely scares you. And so Holden, she is not going to be going to school tomorrow. We're in concussion watch because of the headaches and everything. But she had 4 stitches. She took it like a champ. She did scream and cry when they put the numbing cream on because it burned real quick, and then it was really cold at the same time. But then they cleaned it with saline solution, and then that scared her more than anything. But she's doing good. My baby girl is fine and getting better every day. And then you know, shout out to Cassie, my wife, for being a trooper. You know, she handled it like a real champion. And there's a reason why they say moms are the rocks and all the foundational pieces. My wife is definitely, she is our family's rock. I love her 1,000 times over. All right, so now we're going on to this segment that Ralph, you haven't had this one. I'm looking forward to you being a part of it. It's called the honorable mentions. We just give honorable mentions to stories, whether it be sports related or anything. It's just honorable mentions that are not traditionally mentioned. And you give us, you just give us a quick little tidbit about it, and then we go to the next person. So here's an example. My first one is shout out to everybody who's going to be trick-or-treating in this Halloween, myself included. It is going to be cold. Yes, we actually could see the coldest temperatures in 10 plus years in Halloween in the East Coast. More specifically, especially in North Carolina, which Brian knows this very well. Boone, North Carolina is expecting 3 to 6 inches of snow on Wednesday and Thursday. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Boone, North Carolina is 3 to 6 inches of snow next Wednesday.
Wow. I got friends in Raleigh. Oh my God.
Here's a crazy stat, by the way. If our people don't know this, when it snows this early in the South, that means it's going to be a snowy winter. The last time this happened was 5 years ago when we had a 11-inch snowstorm happen here in the South. We ended up having 9 because of all the sleet that melted the snow, but still 9 inches of snow. Brian, you remember that very well, don't you?
Yeah, I had to work it.
Yeah, so it was a doozy of a snowstorm, but
12-hour day.
They're talking about the fact that this is going to be the craziest time. We could be seeing temperatures in the teens and 20s for lows while we're trick-or-treating with our kids. It's insane. So that's my first shout out. I'm gonna go to you, Pinsman. What is your first shout out, honorable mention, please?
My honorable mention, and I've been talking about this all day long, And if you guys been talking to me, you are probably tired of hearing about it. But my honorable mention is Sidney Crosby getting the all-time points in franchise history. He did it
Yes.
last night. And if you guys don't follow him, if you're not a Penguins fan, and I don't understand why, but he missed up to close to 2 years because of a concussion, because of this man's team, because he got checked to the boards hard, got knocked in the head, and he had a concussion. He missed 2 years. That's 2 years off of playing. So you pass Mario Lemieux and missing 2 years, that's pretty phenomenal.
That is. That's extremely phenomenal. Brian, what is your first honorable mention, sir?
I'm going to give it to the it's probably one of those from a long distance Detroit in the Detroit station. They won the biggest award for the 97.1 the ticket in Detroit Sports Talk. They won a big award there, so shout out for them. They won a big horrendous award, so it was the best sports show in America. So give it out to
Our
them.
good friend Mark Ryan actually
Yep.
Is on in 97 won the ticket. Ralph, what is your first honorable mention, sir?
All right, are we talking about sports stories or
In
what?
sports? You can do anything you want. You're just giving
All right,
a shout out.
I'll give you two of them that go way back, but I'll give you two of them. The O.J. Simpson thing and the Art Schlichter thing. When Art Schlichter, this guy was from Ohio State. He broke records there as a quarterback. I think he even won the Heisman Trophy, and then ended up gambling his life away and ended up in prison. And then O.J. Simpson, how in the world, all that big? I think that was probably the biggest sports debauch. I mean, I'm talking about story of a murder of anything. You know what I mean? Those had to be the two that were the worst. I mean, as far as like sports, I don't mean the worst in the way it was presented, but the worst as far as athletes that actually did something like that. You know what I mean? Both of them, in gambling and then in murder. But I thought those two stories were actually, as far as bad things go, but as far as good things go, it was nice to see when Dan Marino came out of Pitt, and then he went into the NFL, and he did what he did, and then ended up in the Hall of Fame. Pittsburgh guy who really did a lot for when he was at Pitt. Sad that the Steelers didn't draft him, because if they would have, I think we would have about 10 or 12 Super Bowls, with our defense and his arm on offense, and that kind of thing. So I felt bad for Dan because he never won a Super Bowl, and, with the Miami Dolphins. But Dan Marino from Pittsburgh, great guy, great sports story. And now he's got an illness, and I wish him well. I hope he gets better. So
here we are talking about the Miami Dolphins again, because the Miami Dolphins, man, I don't know what's going on. That is the biggest dumpster fire other than the
McDonald's still down there too, or Mike McDaniel, he's still there.
Well, he's going to be dying.
McDonald's.
I mean, that's where he's going to go next.
Yeah.
All right. So
next to Playland.
And there's a guy. Guys? I'll give you a little story here. He's from Pittsburgh. He's from the Plumboro area of Pittsburgh, of Allegheny. Yeah, Plumboro. He's from. Went to Plum High School. So
By the way,
got engineering degrees out the yin yang, but he can't coach.
Yeah. What were you saying, Brian?
By the way, Middle Tennessee 14 and Delaware 14.
Wow. Good on Delaware. Excellent job on them.
Yeah. Delaware and Delaware
really
State are pretty good football teams.
Yeah, really exciting, because this is their first year in FBS competition. So
I live in the Delmarva area, so I hear it all the time, Brandon. So
Hey, my next honorable mention is high school football. And I just told this with Rob. It slowly, or I should say rapidly, whichever you want to see it as, it's winding down, and it breaks my heart to say this, that football is coming to an end so quick. Didn't it just start, y'all? Like, come on. It feels so weird to say football is coming to an end. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, no.
So if anybody's going to sit there and say, we only have like X amount of weeks left in NFL or college football, no, I'm ignoring you, because I'm sorry. I got to have my football on for at least until March. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no.
What's your next one, Pinsman?
I'm gonna shock everybody on this one. So here, get
Uh-oh.
you get your
Uh-oh, here we go.
get your seatbelts fastened.
I got mine. Hang on.
My honorable mention is all of you guys.
Really?
Thank you.
Without
Thank
you guys, I'm gonna go back to when I had my first channel. If you guys don't remember, I had a channel back. It was the same name, same logo, same everything. I had 1,150 subscribers. Help me get there, by the way. But I had 1,150 subscribers at the time, and then I became a correction officer, and then I had to take the channel down. But I'd never had much friendship. And Brian, you call me all the time. Brandon, you're starting to call me. I visit Ralph numerous times. Him and I talk numerous times. As a media person, I never had this much friendship and never had this much communication. I always got on, did what I needed to do. I was on part of a network, but I was like, okay. They never called. They're like, yo, you getting on? Yo, where you at? I'm like, I feel so appreciated now. It's awesome.
And that's all. That's all
I
we want.
appreciate that. Thank
We
you.
want
So do I.
everybody to grow. You know, I
Right.
mean, like
Yeah.
we're all one big family on this. Ralph and I talked about this recently.
Yeah.
We're family. We want everybody to grow and blossom.
Unlike
want
the radio
people that-
business, Brandon, we all know what that's like. I mean,
Yep,
you know,
exactly. That
yeah.
dog eat dog
Man.
mentality. It's so annoying.
and
Yeah,
back in the late 80s, early 90s, it was never like that. If you knew somebody, you got into radio. Now
You
it's
said,
like
here's your
everybody
hand.
goes to
Let
their
me help
job.
you.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, my
It was,
first
"Let me
channel,
help you."
my first channel, I never had this. Like, okay. I
Yeah,
go in,
it's-
I had to learn everything. I had to figure out. I was asking all kinds of people. They're like, figure it out yourself. I don't get paid to help people. I'm like, all right, forget you then.
Well, I'll
That's
give credit where it's due. I ended up on Blog Talk Radio through Mark Mancini, and I had a show on there with him, and he taught me a few things, and then I learned from a couple other people, Claudia Rosano, Luther Dupree. We all had, we had a TV show. Now we do Sports Corner radio show together, and Smoking Jim Frazier. I came to know those guys. So, TV wise, online wise, you guys here, I learned on my own. I got to meet the people at Amped Up Sports through Peter Blake, and so that's a nice thing. Leo Haggerty, and and a bunch of guys there. So I've come to make a lot of friends doing this. More friends than I made in radio ever.
Yeah,
That's
You
right.
know,
And
so-
that's where it really sinks in the most is the camaraderie, the relationships, the lifelongers that you develop
Yes.
in this industry.
Yes.
And it drives me. Well, Brian knows this. There is this not so popular radio station here in the upstate of South Carolina, and I know they're watching because I get notifications about them. But I'm gonna tell you this: if you're gonna go into the mind frame of the bleep with everybody else, I'm gonna do what's best for me. Blah blah blah. You're never going to make it. There is a gentleman, and everybody. We all know this. We can all lean back real quick and do it. Everybody do it. Everybody knows what we're talking about.
Well,
is,
South Carolina.
South Carolina, and if you sit there and try to make
That South Carolina, Furman. I got press passes for Furman, and I went to their practice at Furman State Prison. So there you go.
people like that. Those kind of people.
I think I do the best imitation of them, though.
You do.
You
People
do.
like him that have that chip on their shoulder.
Shoulder,
You're
yeah.
never going to make it anywhere. Come in there. Who gives a bleep about Joe Schmo and ABC and EFG and whoever else? If you do what you do and you love it, you ain't got to worry about it. Things are going to come naturally.
Well, I'm
It
going to
comes
tell you
to
this
you.
much, Brandon. I was in the radio business for a while, and I made no friends. But do you know now that I'm back in the radio business, I've made more friends now than I ever have?
That's
I'm
exactly
going to tell you a little story.
That's it.
There's a guy named Jay Silvers who has a show up in Pittsburgh on 3WS Radio, 94.5. He voice tracks his show down here in Ocean City on 94.5. He got a hold of me today, and he said he's going to talk to his boss on Fridays on his drive time show for an hour. He and I are going to talk sports on his drive time show, and he plays music. He's so
Nice.
impressed with what I'm doing up in Pittsburgh and everything.
See, that's
Wow,
what it's all
pretty good.
about.
Yeah.
That's a lifelonger right there. That is a lifelong, and people don't realize That is the most that's the best way to go with life is
Yeah, because all my
know,
contacts that could have got me in radio, they're all up with the Lord. So I mean, I
unfortunately,
don't.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have any real friends in radio. Jay's the first one that I've been able to really connect with.
And look,
So
Pinsman just said it. He's developed a camaraderie with all of us, and that's where
yes,
it
it
matters
is.
the most.
It is.
It really
And
means the
it's a
most.
pleasure to know all of you. I mean, it really is.
It's an honor. It's an honor to. I tell everybody like it's an honor. I told them last night. I'm telling you too, Rob. It's an honor to have you. I was
Thank
a little apprehensive because of who we know mutually and everything.
Yeah.
And all the humbo jumbo that he fed everybody about us. Obviously, it was just because he was bitter that he was removed from the show. And he's got personal demons going on right now, and
Mainly
hopefully he finds his way again in life. With what he's going through.
I pray for him.
Yeah.
That's all that's all you can do.
That's all you can do. It's unfortunate. It really is. But I can tell you, from wholeheartedly, I am honored. I'm blessed to know you three. We absolutely enjoy everything you guys do with us, and it means the world.
And I met you a couple months ago, and I think you and we go like peanut butter and jelly real quick.
Yeah, y'all good y'all do.
Yeah,
we him and I. The way all of us talk, it's just me, Brian, and I.
That's what I mean. It's like a couple months, and you talk like we know each other for years.
Yeah, like we're best buds.
Brian and I ended up being victims of this other person, of some other person. Okay,
yeah,
we ended up being a victim of his remarks and things like that, the way we were treated. So, and that's how we all came together. And I've had that happen to me a few times, so
love each other. And look,
yeah,
what it says in the Bible, love thy neighbor.
Love thy neighbor.
All
that's it.
Family here. Real quick, last shot that I'm going to get.
Brandon, we got some breaking news. The Giants have hired Tony Vitello as a new manager.
Hello. Yep. He is the Tennessee former University of Tennessee head coach. Yes. He is the manager.
He'll be the new manager.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So
this
shout out
is a huge move. That is a huge move.
That is. Yeah.
The Giants absolutely struck gold getting him. I wanted Atlanta to get him, and everybody wanted Atlanta to get him. And he goes to the Giants. That's a huge
win. I have one question for everybody.
Okay.
Where's Bruce Bucci going to go?
Yeah, Bruce Bochy. That's a good question.
I think he's going to hang it up finally. I think he's just going to enjoy his time with his kids, his grandkids.
Well, no, I'll tell you what should happen. If Don Kelly, our manager with the Pirates, has any half of a brain, and Ben Sherrington, I'd ring his phone and bring him in as a bench coach. That's what I would do. You know what I mean?
One too.
And I've said this many times, Brandon, and I think you, Brian, and Pensman will agree with me that if you're a coach, you're a new manager. Don Kelly's never been a manager. He's a manager now, only because he inherited it because Derek Sheldon got fired. Okay? Now, what you do is you always bring in more experienced guys than you to help you get the team rolling. And then you do like Mike Tomlin, and you ditch everybody, and then you have a cocky attitude, and you think, don't stink. And you bring in yes men after that, you know what I mean? And then go 9-8 every year and think you're a winning coach, But what I'm saying is, if you're like Dan Muse, and I said this, he needed to get some guys off the couch, some experienced people, bring them in to coach to help him coach. And then once you get 4 or 5 years into it, and they decide they're going to move on go back to head coaching, you at least got 5 years of experience in what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's like if I don't know how to be a head coach of a football team, but let's say, for instance, I inherited that job. I would go out and find every smart brainiac I could find that knows football, and I bring them in. You know what I mean? Oh,
absolutely.
Even if I had to get them off the couch or out of the house or off the lake from fishing or something like that.
I knew you were going to do it.
You knew he was coming.
I knew you were coming, Snowman. How about those Niners and how about them Colts?
Hey, Snowman, I'm the only 49ers in here, so
he's trashing me because of. But I will tell you this,
I know.
Snowman, this is still the best team. Just gonna say that.
Just remember CMC.
Oh, he was not Nightbot. Tell him Nightbot to go away. That was not a scam. Spamming, no. Snowman is the man. We love Snowman. He's the best.
That's right, Snowman. We love you.
Hey, real quick, my last honorable mention, y'all, is to Kurt Suzuki, as Rob DeMello just said, for being the next manager of the LA Angels. Obviously, it would have been nice to see Ron Washington.
Yeah.
There, but people don't realize he had a massive heart attack and had quadruple bypass. Right. The same thing I had.
He was supposed to have Clint Hurdle as his bench coach, and I think Clint Hurdle turned him down, and then worked with him the first year, and then he went back to the Colorado Rockies and and stuff like that, but that's
it's a heartbreaking situation for Ron. There are talks that he will be an advisory role for the Atlanta Braves. He is very well loved in the city of Atlanta.
He was good at Texas.
Yes,
he won a World Series.
Remember they did this? They did the deer ears. Yep, with the Texas Rangers.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ron Washington.
And guess who the hitting coach was there at that time? Clint Hurdle. So there you go.
Ah, see.
Yeah.
So,
really shout out to Kurt Suzuki. Hopefully he can help regain the level of success that the Angels deserve. Give Mike Trout that opportunity to win. Just win one ring for Mike Trout before he hangs it up. That's what we need.
Pink Floyd always says, we're like two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl. The Angels have been a lost soul swimming in a fishbowl for a while. So have the Oakland A's and all. Well, I'm sorry, the Sacramento A's. And whatever other city A's they are. So
Philadelphia and Vegas and everything else. Yeah. Real quick, Brian, what's your last honorable mention, sir?
Really?
Can I give an honorable mention to Brian, please, by the way?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman right here, Brian Pettit, is going to be interviewing not one, but two head coaches of a major institution. Yes, Brian is going to interview the head softball coach at Clemson University and Brad Brownell.
Oh, there it is again.
As well.
Clemson.
But Brian he's got this.
I know.
Everybody, let's do this.
Brian knows what I'm doing.
Everybody let's all tip our caps right away to Brian. That's phenomenal news for you, man. I'm so proud of you, brother. I really am.
Yeah.
But what is your next honorable mention, sir?
I'm going to mention all you guys. I mean, y'all been a pleasure to work with the whole entire time since I met you. And Brandon, I hope we have fun next weekend as we're going to go to PC. So I'm looking forward for that. And
are you copying me?
No, I'm not.
Okay, just want to make sure.
No. But it's been a pleasure with all you guys. I mean, this is so
an
much
honor.
fun.
The honor is ours. All right, Pensman, what is your next? Trout is still a great player. Think of Nolan Ryan. I don't know if Trout would be the Nolan Ryan of baseball, but who knows? Yeah. Ralph, real quick, what is your final honorable mention before you head out, sir?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna make this a triple here. I'm gonna say the same thing. It's been a pleasure, a big pleasure to meet every single one. The same thing as Pensman said, because I've had Pensman in my house not once but two times, and he's coming down for a third time. We've got to know each other. We've become really close friends, and and Brian as well. I'm enjoying and yourself, Brandon. You've helped me out several times with some things, and it's all about success, and we're making each other a success, and that's a great thing.
Fun ain't done yet. Don't you worry.
It's not done yet. No, not at all. And I want to thank you, Brandon, because you're giving me some opportunities out there to express my talents in the radio business again, and I feel relieved. And those of you who don't know, starting November 6th, 2 to 4 p.m. every Thursday, starting November 6th, I will be on Highway Radio Hits station on the internet, doing drive time 2 to 4, playing some great tunes for everybody. So tune in. I'm going by my DJ name that I use when I do weddings and parties, DJ Fun, F-U-N, and it's going to be a fun time and some great music. So
let's go.
And Brandon, I got another one too that I just.
So have a great one, guys. I have to go.
Ralph, we appreciate you, brother.
All right, thank you.
I want to give another shout out to Coach Redmond for Clemson for making the D1 softball player all quarter century team. So give a shout out to him too, Coach Redmond,
absolutely.
Clemson softball. So there you go. There's another one, award-winning coach.
Nicholas, I'm going to say this: Trout is a great player. He absolutely is. but I would not put the comparable comparisons to him versus Nolan Ryan. Nolan Ryan was a talent that we will never, ever, ever see again in baseball because of what he was able to do. And Mike Trout he's a gifted, talented athlete, but there will be players that will probably be better than Mike Trout, and that had yet to basically been born. So we don't know yet.
And more players will stay more healthier too, probably.
Yeah, that's right.
He's been injured since third year of his
What?
career.
Yeah.
I haven't got a. By the way, I got a Nolan Ryan card at my mom's house.
I did too. I have my
Nolan
stepdad
Ryan.
gave it to me.
Nolan Ryan and Trout are good. I mean, Nolan Ryan is I think he is actually the best pitcher, other than Smoltz and Glavine and Maddox. But if you put those four together, can you imagine if you had? Can you imagine if you had Nolan Ryan, John Smoltz, Steve Avery, all them? Can you imagine? And then you had Trout as come in as a reliever or something like that. Can you imagine?
Mike Trout? Trout. He's a great hitter. Great outfielder. Great.
Can you imagine though? If you had
whatever type of stretch, whatever.
So I will tell you that. So I will tell you this, Pinsman. I had
he leaves
a long
Pettit
time
out.
ago.
Yeah,
I wanted Mike Trout because when he had the opportunity to re-sign with somebody else, I wanted him to come to Atlanta and get that because he would have. I think Atlanta will give him the best. Honestly, anybody else but LA will give him the opportunity.
What's up, Richard? How you doing? Welcome to the show, buddy.
Welcome, man. We appreciate you, brother. Real quick, Pinsman, what is your? I don't know. Did you give us your final honorable mention, sir?
Yeah, I got.
Yeah,
it.
he got it.
Okay, cool. Did you give yours too, Brian? I can't remember.
Yes, you did. I gave 3 of them.
Bite your tongue, Mike. I know what you're about to say. That's that age you get to you, Brandon. That's the age, Brandon. No, but guys, this has been an episode of epic proportions. Pinsman, did you see your text message that I sent you?
I'm busy.
You're busy. You would say that. Tell me what you think about those numbers. Those are pretty phenomenal numbers, right?
Yeah, that's nice. I like it.
So shout out literally to everybody who watched.
I like it.
I'm this means a lot. Shout out to Ku'ale Agbenyani. I know you watch out for easy money Pettit. Oh boy, I want to hear that. I'll ask Brian off the air, obviously. But shout out to Ku'ale Agbenyani, Brian McGinnis, as you heard Rob mention on them. Casey Smurthwaite, which is a really good friend of ours. He has helped me a lot with getting my content out there more. Shout out really goes out to Casey Smurthwaite and literally everybody who is a part of the success of this show. It means the world. And to have my idol, God, I took a picture of it. I'm so excited that I had him on, and I can't wait to meet him in person. It's coming. I can't wait. I'm excited about that. And Brian Pettit knows what I'm picking. I'm picking on him. Hey, yes. Oh, Nicholas, yes. We were honored to have University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. It made the world to have them come on. We really appreciate it. Quick, go ahead.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
One thing, and then I'll be done. The 76ers are up 57-51 at halftime against the almighty Boston Celtics. That you know how they are. The Boston Celtics are one of the top tier, and the Sixers are beating them 57-51 at halftime right now. So
that's a big one.
And how about this one?
It's only halftime, but just I take it when I can take it.
How about this one?
Yeah.
The Hornets are up on the Knicks 90-76 in the third.
That's
the
right.
third quarter. Yeah.
Wait, the Hornets? Oh no, the Knicks are up 79-72 over the Cavs.
No, the Hornets 90, the Knicks 76.
Wrong game, Brian.
Wrong game, Brian. Yeah.
How's the NBA?
Knicks are playing the Cavs, bro.
The Hornets are playing the Nets.
The Nets, excuse me. Okay, the Nets.
Yeah, I was going to say
the New York team.
Yeah,
it's a New York team, but
Yeah. So, okay.
Brooklyn.
Well, my team. Well, I was reading it wrong then.
But guys, real quick, we've had a fantastic show. We're going to let you guys know what is the upcoming episodes because we have to get through these real quick. We're coming close to the end of the show. This Friday, the 24th, it is episode 162, but we have a very, very special guest. Her name is Addison Burleson. She is a professional women's basketball player. She is actually a star for the women's professional team in Lima, Peru. Yes, she plays for Peru. She is going to join us to talk to us, and I'm excited. My daughter Addison is very excited about this too because, again, it's another Addison she can talk to. She loves basketball. Her favorite player actually is Asia Wilson, Caitlin Clark, and Ryan Howard of the WNBA. So we might get a chance to see her be her next favorite player. And then Tuesday, the 28th of October, yes, next Tuesday, it will be episode 163. We have the athletic director of Utah Tech. He is going to join us to talk about the program, their next steps for the future of that program. There will not be an episode on Halloween, trick-or-treating, obviously. Tuesday, November the 4th, we have episode 164. We have a school that took a 12-year hiatus from playing football. It's Whittier College in California. And Corey is going to join us, which is the athletic director, to talk about what it took to get this program back after a 12-year break. Friday, November the 7th, we have episode 165, which will be the prodigal son, and I cannot wait for this one. Mr. Abe Gordon of 92.9 The Game in Atlanta is joining us again. This will be his 7th time, and we get excited every time he comes on. Abe is phenomenal. And then last, but definitely not the least, on Tuesday, Veterans Day, November the 11th, we have the Biloxi Breakers Pro Hockey Team joining us. Pinsman is absolutely biting at the bullet on this one because it's hockey. And yes, we love our hockey. So with that being said, for everybody, we're over 600 people who are watching right now. With that being said, for everybody who's watched, for our guest, Rob DeMello, KHO2 Sports Director, our good friend, Ralph Williams of RW Media, Pinsman, what is your final goodbye, sir?
Everybody hates each other. Just learn to respect each other. Don't hate, just respect. If everybody that you don't agree with them, just walk away.
Amen to that one. And Brian, what do you say to everybody, sir?
Be kind, be safe, and love each other. So
amen to that one. As Shane would allude to in this, unfortunately, Matt didn't get to join us. It's okay. Matt does. He is a director of a major corporation, so he has to do his thing. As Shane will always tell you, peace, love, and bacon grease, and may the good Lord bless you. I have to figure out why he always says the peace, love, and bacon grease. Someone said it was kind of gross when he said that at first. But and then Matt always tell you, if you're going to partake in some adult libations, do them at home. And if you feel like you need to go out, call a rideshare, get a DD. Don't do something stupid. Don't get caught with the whoop whoops behind you, because then you're in a whole world of hurt. The Valley has been wanting something to root for a long time, while with nothing besides high school. And love Eddie Lee Marburger, played against him in high school. Thankful his chance in college. Hey, Nicholas, if you want to come on in and talk with us, brother, I appreciate you. Give us some more insights on Texas Rio Grande Valley. We want to. I love the smaller programs. I went to a mid-major, University of Hawaii mid-major. Pinsman went to a small college. Brian went to a small college. Small college is literally where it's at. It's more entertaining, more family-friendly, more fun, and it just means better football. I've always felt that way. So if you want to give us some more, if you want to give us some more content on Texas Rio Grande Valley, man, brother, I'm all down to talk to you. Please, man, because I love the smaller programs. Again, that's where it's at. Guys, we have had a blast. We will see you on Friday. Yes, we have Miss Addison Burleson. You guys have a wonderful evening. Enjoy this outro that Matt has made to us, and we'll talk to you soon. Good night.
good night.